Hey, North Dakota, it's your pal District 10. I want to give a quick wrap up on the 14 characteristics of fascism, kind of give you my thoughts and impressions from along the way. First of all, thank you for coming along the ride. For those of you who stuck with me, 14 videos is a lot. Also, a big hello and welcome to all the people we picked up along the way. During that time, this channel reached 1,000 followers on TikTok. And now we're knocking on the door of 1,200. So, hello, thank you, and welcome. First, I want to address the source of this list. I put the source in the description of every video. This comes from Dr. Lawrence Britt. It was published in Free Inquiry magazine. Now, before you start yelling, that list was specifically anti-Trump bias, this list was published in 2003. So that's 22 years ago. That's before The Apprentice aired. So if you think this applies to Donald Trump specifically, maybe there's a reason for that. So it looked at the regimes of that German guy. I'm not saying his name because I'm pretty sure the algorithm has me in its crosshairs already. But that guy, Mussolini, Franco, Suharto, and Pinochet, and found that all of those regimes have 14 things in common. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I said this in the comments a few times, but having one or any of these characteristics does not mean fascism. But fascism has these characteristics. I hope that difference makes sense. I will say one thing that surprised me, what wasn't on this list, is a charismatic strong man with a cult following of personality. It seems like something that would be a common denominator here, but it isn't. And for all of you that came into the comments to yell, but the Democrats, yeah. Maybe you didn't notice, but I did include some examples from Democrats in my videos. But again, just because one of these things is true does not equal fascism. And no one has ever accused Democrats of fascism. That is a far-right ideology. If a Democrat does anything, it's usually labeled as socialism or Marxism or communism, which are ideologies that lean more to the left. So don't even try labeling Democrats as fascists, especially when right-wingers are now accepting that label as a part of their identity and going so far as to reclaim the N-word. Not that one, that one. So yeah, kindly miss me with that. But that's not to say that on a national level, the Democrats are blameless. I mean, at best, they did nothing to stop this. Because it's important to remember, and I said this in my videos as well, fascism doesn't happen overnight. It did not start on January 21st. This has been building for a really long time. And looking at the list, you can see that we've had some of these things for decades. And for those of you who aren't old enough to remember this, there was a point in time where we weren't allowed to call them French fries. We had to call them freedom fries because France was not behind us 100% in our invasion of Afghanistan. So yeah, nationalism, military supremacy, we've checked a lot of these for a while. Also, sexism. I was also surprised that racism wasn't on here, but that does kind of get included under the scapegoat. Labor power is suppressed. That's been going on since the 50s. This has been a really slow, really deliberate walk. So two big questions come out of this, and they're questions that a lot of people are asking and a lot of people are attempting to answer. And I am not a specialist. I do not study these kind of things. I'm a girl on the internet. So I don't really have the answers either, but this is my take on it. The first question is, how did this happen? Yeah, this has been building for decades, but what really caused it? And I believe it is inequality, income inequality specifically, that the worse and worse things got, the more and more people were desperate and willing to hand over their rights and their power to the first person who came along who said they could fix it. The second question is always, what do we do to stop it now that it's here? What can I, little person, do? It just seems just way too big, way too outside of my control. I mean, I've tried voting and we still got here. Well, the first thing I say to that, and I'll always say this, voting is not enough. Democracy is not a spectator sport. And this device in your hand right now has given you a false sense of activism. All right. It's not enough to like and share, although I appreciate it. That's not how democracy is fought for. You need to be active. You need to be involved. You can't just vote once every 4 years. You got to vote in the primaries as well. You have to help people canvass, run for office yourself. There's so much more that you can do. Democracy demands your participation. And that's why fascists fight so hard to take your voting rights away, because they know you, the people, we, the people, have the power. So if voting isn't enough, well, what else can you do? Well, take a look at the list, see the things they hate, and do them. One being disdain for human rights, advocate for people, stand up to ICE raids, learn a couple phrases in Spanish that can help someone who's being taken, fight for other people because they're human beings. Another one, disdain for intellectuals and the arts, support local art, learn things, talk to people. I said in that video that knowledge is contraband, that learning is an act of rebellion. So do it. Do as much as possible. And then people ask me, well, how do I know if what I'm learning is correct? There's so much misinformation out there. You know, how do I know that I'm getting accurate information? And good for you for thinking about that. Very good. I can give you 2 suggestions. One is Ground News. It is a paid subscription, but they do have a free version, and they give you, the right view of a topic and the left view of the topic, and then the kind of spectrum in between. And you can kind of see for yourself what both sides are saying and determine the truth someplace in the middle there. And then I also really like North Dakota Monitor. If you want a more North Dakota focused news source, I've used them a couple times to make videos on this channel. But the most important thing is remember who you're actually fighting, because it's not the person next to you. Other struggling people are not the reason why you're struggling. Other powerless people are not the reason why you feel powerless. Also on here was labor unions. See if you can join a labor union at your workplace, or start one, or support businesses that are labor union powered. Because it's our ability to organize and stand together. That's what's going to defeat fascism. There is one way through this, and that's together. Good luck out there.